Alright guys, off to the races here, and what is that, a Realm Right? What in the world is that thing? I'm sorry, I'm aghast. I do not know what was going on there, but we're into our round 2 feature match. For those of you watching live, I apologize. We did have some connectivity issues at the beginning that kept us from recording round 1 for some reason, but we're back here in round 2 with two 1-0 players. On the left, it's Justin Carpenter playing Jund Monsters. This is the same deck that his brother used to win our Star City Games Invitational Qualifier a few weeks ago. If you missed that tournament, you can go back on our YouTube channel and watch that. That, of course, at youtube.com/ZachSellsMagic. He's content to play some tap lands and pass the turn. Meanwhile, it's Rick Pittman on a Mono Blue Devotion. He's surprising me, and I imagine he surprised you, with a turn 1 Realm Right. We'll go ahead and bring Realm Right up on the card viewer, but basically it allows any of your lands to tap for any color of mana you want, which I imagine he uses to supplement his white splash, allowing him to cast a Frostburn Weird off of a Mutavault. I guess it's just as good as Judge's Familiar in that it's relatively innocuous, but it does help your mana fixing here. And now casting a, he's really making a case for this card here. Casting a turn 2 Frostburn Weird and then a turn 3 Nightveil Spectre off of a Mutavault. That is one of the downfalls of playing these Devotion decks, especially the Nightveil Spectre decks, is you can't cast them with a Mutavault heavy draw, so you have to kind of pick your poison. But Realm Right getting the job done for him here. Rick in the past has splashed white for Detention Sphere effects in the main deck and Rootborn defenses out of the board. So there is a Nick though. He's currently showing 6 Devotion, so he has access to 7 mana here. Well, all Justin does is load up a turn 3 Courser here. So loads up 6 mana, then casts a Cloudfin Raptor, correctly sequencing this into a Tidebinder Mage, and then a Thassa. So this is as close to the nut draw I think as Rick can get here, as he's got a lot on board against a deck that really can't do anything to it. We're going to pump the Frostburn Weird with his Mutavault, get in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get the Caryatid off the top. Justin down to 12, and he's several turns off of an overloaded Mizzy Mortars to try and get back in here. There's a Courser off the top. The Courser shouldn't untap. You tap that, right? Yeah. Okay. Alright, they figured that out on their own right. So very exciting stuff here from Rick, and Justin just packs it up. So the Realm Right, I can't imagine he's playing more than a couple copies of it. I guarantee you it just slots in place of Judge's Familiar or one of the other 2. I think this deck usually plays 2 of those in the spots where it can't play a 5th and 6th copy of Cloudfin Raptor. But interesting stuff from Rick, innovating a little bit here with bulk rare Realm Right getting the job done. Guys, we want to thank you again for watching our stream. 49 of you watching live. We did have some technical difficulties in round 1, so I apologize if you were subject to that. And if you're watching after the fact on YouTube, I apologize, as we did miss all but the first game of that match, as George Arbogast and his burn deck beat Michael David Black's Junk Reanimator 2-0 But we do want to take the time to thank the fine folks here at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia, for letting us broadcast their FNM all over the world to you, wherever you might be. If you're ever in the West Virginia metro area, they've got 4 stores scattered throughout the state, so make sure to get in touch with me. Stop by the store. Support those who support the stream. We also want to give a shout out to inkedplaymats.com. You'll see their logo in the bottom left on our sweet custom playmat that they hooked us up with. Inked Playmats selling custom playmats as well as original art playmats for as low as $10. And recently, last week, unveiling new custom sleeves. You can have your own sleeves printed. So they are doing a pilot project with that. Those guys are great to work with. They've really helped us out here on the stream, so make sure to support those guys if you're ever in the market for custom dice bags, sleeves, or playmats. And finally, we encourage you to support your local game store, but obviously there's cards you need for decks that you just can't find in your local display case. And when that happens, head over to affinityforcards.com. Some of the lowest sale prices on the internet. You can find them on TCG Player, as well as their homepage at affinityforcards.com. Also look for Affinity coming up at various PTQs throughout the summer and other events. If you were at the Richmond, Kentucky PTQ last weekend, sponsored by Cosmic Oasis there at Eastern Kentucky University, you would have hopefully stopped by the booth. You would have saw myself and Nick Beckfar, who's the owner of Affinity. And also got events coming up on May 11th. That's a Sunday, the West Virginia PTQ in Flatwoods, followed by Star City, West Virginia State, which will be here at the Charleston Civic Center in Charleston. The Comic Town PTQ in Columbus, Ohio on May 24th. And then all the Modern PTQs coming up later in the summer. So if you want to see my bright smiling face behind the table at a booth, make sure to track us down. Head over to affinityforcards.com for more information. And as always, support those who support the stream. And thus ends our infomercial portion of the evening. Interesting to see some new tech. Alright, so we're underway here in Game 2. Rick Pittman's mono blue deck curving out perfectly in game number 1. So Justin is on the play here with his Jund Monsters deck. He's going to have to overcome a Mult of 5, however. It looks like he has no green mana, just off a red-black temple and a mountain. But Rick, to his credit, or to his detriment, I should say, no turn 2 play himself. But let's see if he's got a Thassa or a Nightveil Spectre here on 3. It is, in fact, a Nightveil Spectre. So Justin missing his 3rd land drop. His hand is all business, so we'll see if Mizzy Mortar's coming here. It is, in fact, Mortars. So Justin at least holding serve here. Misses his land drop again. So falling desperately behind, but it looks like Rick's draw is very land heavy as well. So there is a replacement Nightveil Spectre. And Justin finds a Temple of Abandon. Considering a card here. Missing the 3rd land, you scry every non-land card to the bottom, but missing the 4th land, you've got some choices here. He can't cast his Courser of Krufix, so there might be an argument for binning any non-green land here as well. So 4 mana for Bident? No, Master of Ways, which is going to be good for 4 tokens here. And this might be over pretty soon here. The Jund Monsters deck does have more removal than the red-green Monsters deck. But Dreadbore's still not going to work here. He's going to need an Ultimate Price or a Doomblade here. Nightveil Spectre comes in, nets a Pelucranos off the top. That was a live card, remember Justin had scried to the bottom previous. So Justin untaps and draws a fresh card off the top. Facing down what's almost a lethal attack already. So he's at 18, facing down 12 power on board. So there's a Sylvan Caryatid. It's going to be able to block one of these creatures, but he's still going to take 10 damage as it is. Rick plays Cloudfin Raptor, I believe, off camera there. And then serves in with the team here. So we're going to be able to block something. And then end up taking 5 from the unblocked creatures. Rick's going to net a card off the Night Veil Spectre. It's a Scavenging Ooze. Justin's still a 2 mana off of an Overloaded Mortars here. We already know he used one. He's got to come up with a mono black removal spell here. It's going to be a Doomblade or an Ultimate Price to take care of that Master of Waves. And even then he's going to be in a spot still facing down a Cloudfin Raptor and a Night Veil Spectre. I think those are his only outs here. I guess if he plays a Courser of Kruphix and then a land, and he doesn't have to tap his Caryatid. No, see, he can't even do that. That would put him at 9, and he could live at 1. But he's going to have to tap that Caryatid or play a land before he plays the Courser to cast the Courser. So he is up against it here. Can't make out all the cards in his hand. I see a Rakdos return, which is not really that good in this matchup. Surprised it stays in. Justin absolutely up against the wall here. As I'm not sure the sequence of plays that doesn't involve a Doomblade can get him out of this. What he really needs here is a Doomblade and a 5th land, or 4th land, and the next turn a 6th land and an Overloaded Mizzy Mortars. That's really his only way of kind of clawing back into this game. Facing down 12 power currently, 2 of which is pro-red, 2 of which flies, and a Cloudfin Raptor that could evolve into a threat as well. So Justin trying to figure out what he can do here. Scavenging Ooze could possibly get him out of this for a turn. He does miss his 4th land, so he's still stuck there. We could overload a Cyclonic Rift and just win the game here if Rick has that. He's got enough devotion to be able to do that. Not sure why he didn't overload that. He did have enough mana to do that. So serve in with the team here. And there's an Abrupt Decay on the... Wait, that doesn't work. Yeah. That's not going to work. So you can Abrupt Decay the Night Veil Spectre, but because he did that before blocks, he's not I think it takes 8 either way there. Can't Abrupt Decay a 4-cost creature. So just a pretty brutal series of events there for Justin. Not sure if that matchup is really that bad, but it sure seemed pretty bad in the way the game played out. Got 25 minutes left, guys. We're going to try to find you another match, see if we can keep on trucking. I've seen enough.
No, you missed it. It's like the 3rd card. Yeah, the blood.
This guy?
The blood.
Yeah, it's really good.
I know. Pump up Cyclops. Oh, I can't swing through.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's basically like Fling.
Yeah.
I like it.
So good.
Well, we'll quit talking about Logan's Rug Nivix Cyclops deck off camera and get back to the action here. So this is our bonus coverage in round 2. We got 2 1-0 players. On the left is Brandon Giz. He's in black-white mid-range. He's our defending monthly FNM champ.
I'm going to be the FNM champ.
What are you, 2 now?
And then he's playing black-white mid-range, which he played. It's basically Esper Control. Well, it's basically mono black devotion with some white cards in it. It's pretty good. Whoops, that is really good.
Is that Bramble Crush?
Bramble Crush. Stone Rain, yeah. So Jesse Hill is his opponent. He's from, like Michael David Black, is from the Huntington store. Since they're playing Modern, they're up here playing some Standard tonight. And he is on Mono Green Devotion. He's actually played in a feature match camera last month, the same exact scenario. But he said he made a few changes to his deck. Now that Bramble Crush has to be in the board, right?
Yeah, definitely. Not good enough to...
Creepy mold effects are always going to be relevant. People usually overvalue them, including myself. There's an Arbor Colossus. It's a big old man.
That's not too good though. It's just a 6/6.
Yeah, but Brandon's already burned one Doomblade here.
Yeah, I think he should have Doombladed the guy.
Should have Doombladed the guy. So some high quality Magic commentary from Nick Reed and his 3XL Get Her Done t-shirt.
Get her done safely.
Get her done safely. That's an inside joke. You can only find out about it if you come down to Lost Legion. So Brandon finds a Lifebane zombie to go along with his pack rat. Has not missed a land drop here, which is good, overcoming the Stone Rain effect. That pack rat is foil, so of course it makes 2 tokens when you put your card to it. And Arbor Colossus serving in here. Jesse is down to just 1 card in hand, which is one of the problems with these mono green decks, is they do run out of resources relatively quickly. And I guess they get card advantage off of Primeval Bounty and Garrick, right? Lead the Stampede.
I don't know about Bounty, but I know.
Sometimes it's a sideboard card, and it's very good against the fair decks, like the Esper and whatnot, because it does generate a lot of card advantage.
It's pretty good. I never had one in my deck, but I really wanted one. You know, 4 pack rats on Meadow make 4 pack rat tokens.
Yes, I have pack rat tokens. Oh, I forgot to take the box of goodies out there.
Yeah, me too.
No, I'll do it later. There's tokens and there's no dice. But the Lifebane zombie revealed that the last card that Jesse had in his hand before he drew this card this turn was a forest.
I drew Burning Tree last turn.
Yep, and that Lifebane zombie is on defense.
Yeah.
As it says, target player sacrifices Burning Tree Emissary. So Jesse doesn't really have a ton of action here. Serves in with the Elvish Mystic, which is probably going to get eaten by a pack rat token. Arbor Colossus is probably going to get through here. Brandon's going to go down to 4, but he's going to clear out 2 creatures and add a pack rat to his board. Unless we want to gang block the Arbor Colossus. It's pretty ballsy, right?
Yeah, but...
You lose your whole board that way. But I mean, like...
Get on its side. So, I mean, you have a few turns, I mean, that would be good. If it's on one side.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it would be exactly lethal. Well, I mean, it would kill the Arbor Colossus. You would lose your whole team because there would be one damage marked on the pack rat, and then it would. Huh?
He can monstrous.
Oh.
Yeah, so if it does that, he loses.
Never mind. I forgot that monstrous was a thing you could do. We actually haven't seen that many Arbor Colossuses on our stream.
Like, he loses back right like this.
Huh?
This back right stood.
How?
He blocked with his token. Now it's a 1/1, and he blocked Elvish Mystic. Go ahead and tell him.
Yeah, but no, it's gone. The token's gone.
Yeah, but he blocked an Elvish Mystic. Back rat.
Yeah.
Hey, Gibbs, your pack rat's dead. It became a 1/1.
Yeah, that's because you're paying better attention than I am. I was in a really good space earlier tonight, and then technical difficulties, and now I'm a little bit dragging. But we did see some interesting action in round 2. As Rick Pittman started off the game with a turn 1 Realm Right. Do you know what that does?
It's like...
It's Prismatic Omen on a 1/1 blue creature, so all your lands are every kind of land. So he then played a turn 2 Mutavault and used it to cast a Frostburn Weird. It's pretty fun.
Doesn't it have to... Isn't it second main phase or something like that? No, that's Trick Doctor, never mind.
No. It was just cute, but it also works pretty cool. Like, yeah, the mono blue, even the best cards in the mono blue deck are bad draft cards.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny to consider, like, is it good enough in a deck that plays Tidebinder Mage, which is often just a Grizzly Bear?
Yeah.
A Grizzly Bear that costs double green.
Yeah. That's right.
So Brandon just sends a turn back here with just a Lifebane Zombie. Facing down a Reverent Hunter. Not a Reverent Hunter, that's an Aaliyah's Disciple, right?
Yeah.
A Burning Tree Emissary and an Armor Colossus here. So despite me thinking that it has Trample all the time, the Colossus doesn't. It's just Reach. So it looks like we're going to Doomblade something here. No, we're going to Bile Blight on the Emissary. Or Disciple. So the question is, kill or chump?
Kill, thanks.
You're never going to win the... see, I don't think you ever win the game if you chump.
Yeah, no.
You just have to trade card for card. Because you're only going to win this game if you draw a removal spell. And when you draw that removal spell, it's better to have the board clear than not. That Mutavolt's going to help him fog a turn later. But
It's
the way he...
chump.
Huh?
It's chump now.
Yeah, I was going to say, the way he's played this now, you don't have that... you don't have that luxury. At least the last card in Jesse's hand doesn't appear to be relevant.
Probably just a land.
Well, I would think it would be some kind of spell here, because he's not immediately sending the turn. No, Brandon just draws and passes. Forgot it was Brandon's turn. That's the kind of day it's going to. That's the kind of evening it's going to be, guys.
Oh, that's game over. Yeah.
Got to chump, go down to 4.
No, they have trample.
Oh. So just die. I forgot that I didn't even see that he played an Aaliyah.
Yeah, he was keeping a land in hand. He helped that Melia.
Yep, so that's 6 exactly, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be enough. So if Brandon is going to defend his title, he's going to have to come through the 1-loss bracket. So Jesse, he'll boost to 2-0. If you remember, last time he played, he did some very degenerate things with this mono green deck. But he was most famously remembered for not blowing up a D-Sphere with a 7 Primordial and getting back another 7 Primordial and blowing up a land. It was very unfortunate. But